And when you connect to who you really are, who you're really meant to be, then you can release all that stuff. And yoga is a beautiful gift to be able to bring that into your life.
Welcome back. We are on the Dr. Nandi Show, and we're talking about the mindset of healthy weight. Now, yoga has become increasingly popular, and you likely know many of the numerous mental and physical benefits, but you may not have heard how this ancient practice helps with stuck emotions that can lead to overeating. Here to explain this is Bethany Perry. She's a yoga instructor and an intuitive weight loss coach. Please welcome Bethany. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. So tell me about how yoga helps with one's mindset, especially with relation to weight loss.
Well, initially yoga was created to help men stay in meditation longer. So yoga is truly all about connecting with the breath. It's a lot more than the asana or the pose. When we
Which is what people are just infatuated with, right?
Yeah.
They forget about
and
the
it's
real
okay because we're North Americans and we like to be active, and
right.
Being active is a good thing. However, when we forget to connect with the breath, when we start to do that, then there becomes this spiritual aspect that comes into play. We connect with who we are because the monkey mind, our left brain that never stops talking, begins to stop talking, and the you that listens to you begins to practice yoga, and that changes everything.
And how does that help you to maintain that mindset for a healthy weight?
So what I like to say is we practice off the mat what we practice on the mat. And when we really bring ourselves to ourselves and we start to appreciate who we are. Most Americans speak to themselves the way they wouldn't let anybody else speak to themselves. And when we start listening to that and we use what I call vitamin A awareness and have awareness of what we're saying, and we stop saying those things, we start caring enough about ourselves to start caring about our choices.
I think the message is that we're so mean to ourselves.
Yes.
And we're so hard on ourselves often that we'd never do that to anybody else because we'd be embarrassed. But yet we punish ourselves with the stuff that we say to ourselves. And why do we do that, do you think?
Well, I think there's a lot of reasons that we do that, and some of them can be very personal. But one of the reasons that we do that is because it keeps us in a place from we don't have to be inconvenienced.
Tell us how yoga can really go into the place of stuck emotions and help you in the long run.
Things happen to us. We have
course.
big T, little t traumas our whole life, and they get stuck in our body. All feelings are in our body, and when we have negative feelings or emotions, most of us don't want to feel them. And what are we taught? Don't cry, stop.
Exactly.
You know, those are the things
Suck
that,
it up.
Yep, suck it up, buttercup.
That's right.
And so
Suck it up, buttercup.
So what do? They get stuck, so we end up eating them and we shove them down, and then it affects our intestines, it affects our brain, it affects everything. When we practice yoga, even if we're not aware what we're working out, we're creating this beautiful connection, and the body begins to release old things. I've had students, and myself included, where they'll cry, they'll laugh, they feel like, why am I doing this? And it's like, well, it was in your body. When maybe you were in church and you couldn't laugh out loud. I don't know.
Exactly.
But the truth is as we release all of those emotions, we're freer, and the more free we are as a person just to be who we are, we don't need to choose foods that don't serve us.
Exactly, and it's really beautiful, and the physiology goes back to when you have these stuck emotions and you have that stress. It's a little bit of that fight or flight response that we go back. Human beings are very primitive. Our bodies are very primitive, even though our minds don't think they are. And then what happens is, what she's describing is the cortisol goes up, all the hormones go up that you don't want. Then the mind, which is being bombarded with this, and communicates with your gut, and then it gives you bad signals, and then the bacteria that are supposed to be good are now turned into bad. I mean, the whole cascade starts. And then guess what? Obesity can result based on your behavior, the resetting of your appetite centers. It goes the entire way. And how can yoga actually help you to release it? Because you see it all the time. Help you release these stuck emotions. I mean, does it just happen overnight? Is it a practice? Tell me about that.
Yeah, I don't think anything with weight loss, if it's overnight, it's probably not real. So it's a practice. And the thing I love about yoga is it's considered a practice.
Yes.
If you're in a sport, you're competing. And yoga is not about competing. It's about practicing. One day you might do a pose beautifully, and the next day,
May not.
so much. But what matters is the gift that you're giving your body and connecting to this you and not listening to, the left brain lies to itself all the time. And Eastern tradition, I study, in India, and they'll talk about it's the monkey mind or the ego. And they'll say that the left brain that never stops talking is the ego that's telling you all these things. And when you connect to who you really are, who you're really meant to be, then you can release all that stuff. And yoga is a beautiful gift to be able to bring that into your life.
And we always say, on the show, the biggest relationship and the most important one is the one you have with yourself.
Absolutely.
And yoga is just an amazing tool to allow you to do that. And a lot of people are leery about it. I would not. I mean, this amazing woman has shown exactly how you can do it. Thank you for bringing this information to us so many people can benefit. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
It's time to take a break again. When we come back, we will share some important information about mindfulness and tips about how you can be mindful, so please don't go away. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Partha Nandi, and if you enjoyed that video, you're going to love the next one. It's full of incredible information to help you start your health hero journey.